In Hope, Jamie Davis is picking up his pride and joy after getting some major work done to it.
I'm picking up the rotator after a complete overhaul.
After 2 years of the rotator working in Alberta, the rotator needed a major overhaul.
Wow, look at it. Man, she's nice.
Back at the yard, Jamie Davis is leaving in HR 116 and heading to Edmonton.
There is simply no work here in Hope, so I'm moving HR 116 to Fort McMurray.
Colin McLean gives a little lesson on HR 116 for operator Johnny Tipton, but it'll only be in Alberta for a few weeks.
Well, she's all yours, buddy.
HR 68 is 4 years old. Once the trucks reach that mark, it's time for Jamie to sell the truck and buy something brand new.
HR 68 isn't all that bad. Maybe I should make an offer to Jamie. Sold!
But it needs to be pimped out to the way Chris wants it.
I'm going to take it in for paint work, and it's going to be painted white. Boy, that's one hot-looking truck.
In Fort McMurray, a bucket truck went into the ditch and flipped. Heavy Rescue gets the call.
Yup, she won't be an easy one.
Edmonton's dispatcher dispatches Johnny Tipton and HR 116. HR 117 will be rigged to the rear axles of the bucket truck, while HR 116 is rigged to the front axles of the bucket truck.
Here's your one chance, Fancy. Don't let me down.
Colin and HR 117 will tow the bucket truck to Fortis, Alberta's yard. In Edmonton, Western Star MotorTruck gets a call for a tractor trailer hanging off a bridge.
Wow, this is something else.
Chris and his 9055 will lift the trailer while IR 78 pulls the tractor. I'm going to rig my truck to the axles of the tractor and pray nothing goes wrong. Usually, Miss.Jane is in IR 88, but today she's in the newest weapon in Heavy Rescue's arsenal, IR 78.
Pull. For sake.
Miss.Jane and IR 78 will pull it straight ahead while Chris lifts the rear end of the trailer. Back in BC, Al Quiring and Gord Boyd head out for a big recovery on Highway 3.
Apparently, Jamie Davis and the fancy rotator is also heading to the scene so we'll try to get there first. Yup, this is a rotator job.
Jamie and the rotator arrive to the scene.
Hey Al, how are you? Need a hook? No, I'll let you do this one.
The only other heavy wrecker available is the Holmes 750.
Flip, then lift.
The crew will flip the wreck first, and then Jamie and Keith will lift the unit and shift it onto the road.
Now we will just lift the entire unit.
Jamie will lift the tractor straight up while Keith pulls the trailer's axles.
You know what I say, one piece at a time, eh?
Back in the yard, Jamie is working on yet another new project.
The company didn't pay for the recovery bill, so I decided to turn it into a tandem wrecker.
The rebuilt Peterbilt Vulcan wrecker will be finished just in time for next season. After months of Jamie's rotator in the shop for a restoration, it can finally go back to Alberta.
The battleship home. Face it, Jamie! Face it!
Now Colin can be back in Heavy Rescue's rotator.
This truck has been a bit iffy with the controls. It's almost like it's been haunted by the previous driver, Bruce. For crap's sake.
Kelly calls for help.
I'm right on the Anthony Henday 216.
HR 117 pulls up to the scene.
I don't... No, it just stalled out.
Jason will tow the 750 and the tractor-trailer at once.
Lately, the 750 has been giving a lot of problems for us.
It's almost like it's being haunted by Bruce.
We have a major wreck up on Highway 16 in Yellowhead County.
The dispatcher doesn't answer the call.
There's apparently a major wreck right up on the 16. I'll just go on my own. This is something completely different.
Jamie will now recover the second wreck, while HR 116 tows the first wreck away.
This actually irks me because the dispatcher didn't answer. Sometimes we get scooped like this.
Shortly before 10 a.m. on June 27, 2015, a tour bus slammed into the back of a tow truck which was parked on the shoulder on the Coquihalla Highway, 40 kilometers south of Merritt. The tow truck was assisting a motorist who had hit a deer. The driver of the bus failed to move over and slow down. 13 ground ambulances and 4 air choppers arrived to the scene to take the injured passengers to the hospital. The tow truck driver from a company located in Hope and Kelowna was talking to the occupants when the bus struck the vehicles. The bus driver and tow truck driver suffered serious injuries, but none were life-threatening. Last August, a BC tour bus crashed about 50 kilometers away on the same highway, injuring 43 of them, 5 critically injured. Jamie Davis had sent a warning letter just days before the crash to the RCMP and the Transportation Ministry. Jamie Davis says the towing industry in BC is a free-for-all and is in need of more government regulations. Jamie had sent a letter stating that he demanded to be removed from the list of tow truck companies serving the Coquihalla Highway. The reason, he says, is safety, and he says he never received an email back. Heavy Rescue always responds to an accident in pairs, one with a tow truck and one with a traffic control truck, which is parked in front of the accident scene. But some companies are cutting corners, not willing to spend the money on traffic control vehicles, and Jamie said it should be mandatory.
Chunks. Safety to them is nothing, it's about making a dollar, and too many people competing out there makes it dangerous to the public and makes it dangerous to people in the towing industry. The industry is irresponsibly competitive, and I think it's time for the government to step in and manage who's doing what and how they're doing it on our highways. I actually was supposed to be on rotation that weekend when it happened, but safety is our number one measure when working out there. It could have been one of my trucks easily, but that call went to another company.
In Edmonton, Jamie Davis heads out for an unusual recovery in Lloydminster.
Where we are heading is for a crawler crane in a ditch, or maybe it's flipped.
117 keeps sliding, but Jamie keeps pulling.
The customer wants me to tow this back to Edmonton for another job that it has to do there.
But Jamie has never towed a crawler crane before.
There really is no place to hook up.
Jamie must be precise with his rigging with the crane.
I'm out of here and back to Edmonton.
Just recently, Angela received her Class 1 license, and it may just come in handy. Today I get to drive the transformer. With Jamie on the highway in Lloydminster and Colin on a rare day off, Angela gets to drive the rotator up on Highway 63. To keep the road open, I want to rotate the boom and pull the wreck over. Now Angela will tow the wreck and get off the highway. The next day, Colin McLean heads out in the rotator to recover a garbage truck.
It's a garbage truck up on Highway 22. Face it, Jamie! Face it!
The next day, on the QE2,
We are heading to a MVA.
the multiple vehicle accident is 40 kilometers out of Edmonton.
I've dispatched IR-78 and IR-88.
Miss.Jane and heavy-duty operator Jason head out to help Chris. A tractor-trailer caught its rear wheels into the ditch and flipped. The tractor and flatbed trailer hit the first truck.
What I want you to flip the flatbed over onto its wheels, then the second wreck will flip together. Hi, you have reached Chris from Western Star MotorTruck. I cannot come to the phone. Leave a message and I'll get back to you. We need to get our 45-ton bucket truck out from a ditch. Please call our head office.
Now they will tow the wrecks away.
Let's get off the highway.
Chris gets another call from Fortis, Alberta.
Good afternoon, Western Star MotorTruck. We need to get our 45-ton bucket truck out from a ditch. No can do unless you want to wait about an hour and a half. Forget it, I'll call another company.
2 hours later, Chris spots something that just killed him. "1,200 kilometers back in BC.
We are going for a flipped tractor trailer down in a ditch up on Highway 1.
5 minutes later, Al Quiring and his big green wrecker arrive.
The driver caught his rear wheels on the edge and took him for a ride.
Gord and his tandem wrecker will pull the rear end of the trailer, while Al and his wrecker pull over the tractor and front of the trailer.
Listen to the trailer. Yes, I always listen.
Gord will tow the wreck back to Aldergrove. In Edmonton, Colin McLean is prepping HR 117 for a road trip across Edmonton.
My first stop is going to be Gronky Park.
The next stop for Colin is at the Anthony Henday Bridge for a photo shoot.
My last and final stop is in Devon.
At Jamie Davis Towing in Edmonton, a customer is paying their recovery bill.
Your total is $14,500. Credit. Insert card when ready.
The customer leaves until Jamie notices something.
The name on the card doesn't match the customer's name.
The dispatcher calls the police while Jamie goes after him.
You're under arrest for fraudulent information.
After a year battling in Edmonton, coming from 4 trucks to 40 trucks, is it really worth the stress?
Hey Kelly, I want you to put an ad on Kijiji for me. Sure, for what? The rotator.
After running the truck for 4 years, it's time to sell it.
And put HR 116 up for sale. Sure.
Building on last season's bold move into Alberta,
We have a jackknife semi in the ditch.
Jamie pushed into new territory and a whole new highway.
Nobody told you, Jamie, that there is a rollover on 186th Street?
After losing some of his most trusted crew, Jamie had to rely on a team of unproven newcomers. In BC,
You be careful! Hold it!
and Alberta, Colin McLean
What could go wrong?
got a big promotion and needed to step up fast.
Looks like a war zone.
But with help from his brothers, Jamie's new team
Take that, Jamie.
came together,
One piece at a time, eh?
proving that together, closure is never an option.
Face it, Jamie. Face it. Couldn't have done it better myself, Colin. Yeah, man!
In BC, there's a new heavy wrecker about to hit the highway, and a return driver, Scott Bird.
Scott Bird is working with us again and is going to drive HR 126.
2 years ago, Scott Bird was working with Jamie, driving Bruce's 750, and in the rotator part-time.